I want to head down to Gainesville. Let's talk about the 2 5-stars that were on campus in Gainesville. Florida Gators hosted a bunch of visitors. Go to gatorsonline.com for more. But, Steve, you and I are going to talk about Caleb Cunningham and safety Trey McNutt. Now, wide receiver Caleb Cunningham, he's the top player in Mississippi. He's a 5-star wide receiver, and he's been to Gainesville before. This was not his first time. He's familiar with Billy Napier and his staff. Caleb Cunningham, is Florida a legit threat to land him?
Well, I talked to Caleb Cunningham, a very excited Caleb Cunningham, Sunday afternoon coming out of his official visit. He called me to talk about his visit, and he gave it a 10.5 out of 10. Again, Billy Napier, that receiver background, that coaching staff, the way they build relationships, the energy that they have, when kids get to Gainesville, they really feel that. And Caleb Cunningham is one of those 5-stars that had a fantastic time. And we just talked about that in the last segment. If Florida has the kind of year that they want to have this year, even if they lose a recruiting battle here in the summer, they come back around on a Drake Stubbs who's committed to USC. They're going to battle for Caleb Cunningham here, the 5-star receiver. And I think as of late, Caleb Cunningham's taken a lot of visits. He took that official visit to Auburn to open the month and told Jeff Lee and those guys over at our Auburn on 3 affiliate that Auburn was the leader. Caleb doubled down on that with me in an interview a couple days later. But he visited Ole Miss and had a great experience with Ole Miss midweek on an unofficial. And now he may go to Juice Weekend in Oxford in July instead of Big Cat Weekend at Auburn in July. So that certainly got me thinking that this recruitment is very fluid, one where we've liked Mississippi State early, and we're certainly not ruling out for the local target moving forward. But then Florida, the visit he just had there, 10.5 out of 10. They're in the middle of it. He'll be watching them closely this season. Alabama's getting him on campus at the end of the month. Him and Derek Meadows are their 2 coveted receivers that they want to add to this top 10 recruiting class right now. So certainly we know Jamarcus Shepard, Kalen DeBoer and company could maybe make a move at the end of the month. But Florida gave Caleb Cunningham a great visit. And they did the same with 5-star safety Trey McNutt. You know, McNutt was on campus this weekend, and I had Florida kind of trailing coming in behind schools like Texas A&M, USC, Oregon, and Ohio State. Georgia rising after a recent visit. Florida, he did visit in the spring, came back, said he had a great time this weekend, and talked about what Florida does for the players outside of football. We know it's a great academic school and the support that they give their players, but he likes the defensive coaches, said Will Harris and company is a great group, and these guys are going to build Florida back up strong. They like the vision that Napier and company have. He is another that is watching Florida closely, and we'll see what kind of year the Gators have, because if Florida doesn't do it on the field this fall, they're on the short list for these prospects like Trey McNutt, but they got to go out and produce. Trey McNutt's not going to commit till the fall either. I think you'll see him take summer visits moving forward to Texas A&M and Oregon. In this fall, I think you'll see him get back to Georgia and get back to Ohio State, which gives Florida time to get off to a great start this season.
Yeah, and speaking of getting off to a great start, you know, that opener with Miami, Florida hosting Miami in the Swamp for that season opener, just an unbelievable matchup. You think it's possible? I know these are official visits, so they can't come back on officials, but do you think we could see a guy like a Caleb Cunningham, a Trey McNutt back in the Swamp for a game of that magnitude?
Josh, you and I both know that even though summer officials are being taken, these prospects will pop back up on campuses of their top schools, even if they're committed elsewhere for games this fall.
All right. Well, Steve, I think just because there's going to be so many recruits down there, maybe you and I need to take a field trip down to the Swamp and watch the season opener against Miami.
Wiltfong whip around from inside the Swamp that Thursday, leading into Florida, Miami that Saturday. Let's get it booked.
With a live audience. It'd be great. All right, let's move on. Actually, first, Gator fans, let me know. How do we feel about these 5-stars on campus? Are the Gators trending? Do you think? Who will be the first 5-star wide receiver to link up with DJ Lagway down in Gainesville? Comment section below. Let us know.